If you've ever worked for a mid-sized company, you'll know that buying stuff that you need in order to do your job is surprisingly difficult. For example, let's say that you want to buy a piece of software for your team that's going to make all of them twice as efficient. For the sake of argument, let's say that piece of software is called Salesforce and it costs £30,000 per year. You as the employee need an easy way to request approval for that purchase, right? And the finance team needs an easy way to review and approve your purchase requests. And then when the purchase has been approved and Salesforce sends an invoice a few months later, the finance team needs to be able to review that invoice against the original purchase order before they make the payment. Most companies today manage that process using a combination of spreadsheets and emails, which can get a little chaotic. But a few weeks ago, Payhawk launched a purchase order feature that automates and streamlines that whole process, and that's what I'll be talking in today's video. If you hadn't heard of Payhawk before, they were originally known for these kind of global international spending cards that you could give to your employees and set really customizable spending controls on, right? Since then, they've added a bunch of new features, and today they are building an end-to-end global spend management platform. Today's video is split into two parts. In the first part, I'm going to show you a demo step by step of how employees raise purchase order requests, how those purchase requests get approved by the finance team, and then the invoice finally gets paid. In the second part of the video, I'll explain how this feature fits more into the Payhawk kind of long-term product vision. So feel free to skip around the different parts. Otherwise, let's dive in. Okay, I'm in Payhawk now. Let me show you how you can order new laptops for your company using the purchase order feature. So I'm logged in here as an employee who's going to be requesting new laptops, right? So I will go into purchases right here and click request purchase order. Here I can add a note. So I'll type in new laptops, and then we can choose from a list of pre-approved suppliers, which we can pull in from our ERP or directly from Payhawk, right? If we've got a quote from the supplier, or even if we have a screenshot from, even Facebook Marketplace or Amazon or something, for how much these laptops cost, we can just upload that right here as well. And then we click continue. And on this page, we can add more details about the purchase order. So for example, we'll say here that we're ordering 5 laptops. And so this is kind of how much it's going to cost. This is the total. We also have the option of adding in key expense fields here. So this isn't mandatory, but what this will allow you to do, or your finance team allow to do, is that once the invoice gets processed, it will allow them to categorize that expense in the kind of correct way in your accounting system, right? So just makes things easier downstream if you fill it in, but it's not necessary. So once these fields are filled in, we can submit this for approval. The PO will be sent to the person who we've assigned to approve POs, depending on whatever workflow we've got set up, right? And so they'll get a notification and they'll be asked to log into their account, where they will see the notification, this little bell icon right here. So we have the PO that was just submitted right here, and then we can just approve that. Now, once the PO is approved, the person who raised it will get an email notification letting them know that it's been approved, and they can send that now to the vendor, right? And so let's click on that. There's the PO number right here as well. And once we're happy with this, we can just, as I said, we can send it to the vendor. Now, if you want to do three-way matching, which means matching not just the invoice and the purchase order, but also the receipt as well, you can do that in Payhawk. It's effectively an extra check to make sure that the quantity of goods match whatever was included in the purchase order and the invoice, right? So let's say that we received this order from PC Richard & Son for computer monitors. Let's add in the receipt note here, and we'll type in here, say that this is kind of shipment received, and we can add in the receipt number, the document date, and the quantity received. Now, let's say that we ordered 5 laptops, but we only received 1 laptop, right? We can enter that here as well. And the status of this order is now updated to partial, which means that there is still kind of undelivered outstanding units in this order. Okay, so let's say that we've submitted the purchase order, and then eventually the vendor sends us an invoice for the goods that we've bought from them, right? You can upload that invoice directly into Payhawk where it will be scanned, or you can send it to a special inbox, email inbox, right? In this example, we're going to upload the invoice. We're going to select the payment method here. So how we're going to pay the vendor, we're going to just click on bank transfer. And once we've uploaded this invoice, Payhawk will automatically extract the relevant information here from that invoice. So you can see here that Payhawk has automatically picked out the supplier and the purchase order, invoice date, due date, and so on as well. If all of the units that we've requested in our original order for these monitors have been sent, it will say that the order is fully received. If the orders haven't been sent or there's some missing, it will be partial, but in this case, everything's fully received. And once we've checked the details here, made sure we're happy with them, we can improve this invoice and send it for payment along with all of the other invoices that we're paying as well, right? So how do I think the new purchase order feature fits into Payhawk's long-term goal to build a kind of global end-to-end spend management platform? Let me illustrate that with an example. Let's say that you are a company, a mid-sized company with a few hundred employees. You probably pay for different pieces of software for a few of your different teams, okay? You probably also pay to provide laptops and equipment for your employees as well. And then you probably also cover your employees' work-related expenses like traveling and going to kind of client conferences and stuff as well. Okay, so you've got those kind of 3 different types of spending that you might do. Each of these different types of spending will have a different method of procurement and of paying. For example, for the software, you'd normally pay for that either through a monthly or an annual contract. For the laptops, you're probably paying every time that you onboard a new employee or one of your existing employees' laptops breaks. And for work expenses, you're probably paying for that either through corporate cards that you've issued them or through reimbursements which are submitted by your employees. Until now, Payhawk gave you full control and visibility over this part of spending, which is the spending cards and reimbursements. But now, with the introduction of this new purchase order feature, Payhawk allows you to give visibility and control over this much larger piece of spending as well. And not only does it allow you to see your actual spend, this also allows you to see upcoming spend as well, which is really important in order for you to manage and control your cash flow. So my view on this new purchase order feature is that it allows now companies to finally close the loop on all of their major spending. Payhawk regularly has promotions and discounts, so if you are interested in automating your procurement or you just simply want some kind of global corporate spending cards for your company, go to the website directly. I will also probably leave a link to their website below in the description. And so that's it on Payhawk. Thanks for watching to the end.